Marriage, or the lack thereof, in African American communities is a hot spot topic in what is considered to be black YouTube. We talk about it all the time, especially when you talk about the out of wedlock birth rate in black America. You talk about how that relates to the crime. You talk about how that relates to a lot of kids failing in school. And people point to this in a voracious manner. We need to be able to bring that rate down. We need to bring it down. You can bring down this out of wedlock birth rate in black America. You can do stuff. You can have kids. You can have a community. You can have all of these things that you don't have now. All that you need to do is solve this out of wedlock birth rate. Now, in theory, it sounds good, and it does sound like that's the right decision to make. But we really got to talk about why some things are the way that they are. And I'm going to explain this in a way that is easy to understand. When people talk about the lack of marriage, they always talk about how black communities used to be. Back in the 60s, we had 2 black families, and look at all the stuff they did. Look at what they had in the 50s, in the 40s. You know, look at all the things you could do back then. And people compare this all the time, not understanding what the wages were and what the prices of housing were at the time. All right. I'm quite sure that back in those days, even if you were poor, one person that was working can support the house, or it was more common. All right. Back when gas was 25 cents a gallon, RC Cola was a penny or 2 pennies. You know, in certain parts of America in the 70s and 80s, you could get a good job in a blue-collar factory making a ton of money. You know, those were the days when America was booming. And we always want to compare today's black America to the good old days when blacks was coming to Detroit from the South getting them good jobs and going to Indianapolis and getting those jobs in the factories and car mills and stuff like that, assembly lines, Ford, Chrysler. You can support a household with the man being at the head and the wife working part-time or not working at all. But we forget in today's America, the economy that we live in won't allow a 2-parent home for the most part. Somebody said that on my panel. I don't know who said it. But, for example, I was looking at medical school tuition in 1979 for University of Pennsylvania Medical School. $2,000 a year. Get that, okay? This is an Ivy League school, something like $2,000, $3,000 a year. Now, doctors were still making $100,000, $200,000. Doctors in the 80s were making $300,000, $400,000 a year. But medical school was cheap as hell. Real estate was cheap as hell. And in the 80s and 90s, people were arguably making a lot of money in comparison to what things cost. But in today's America, the competitive of the job market, a lot of jobs being emptied out because you don't need them anymore. Honestly, can you say that a 2-parent household is going to be like it was back in the day? I mean, nigga, do you know how much food costs in America? We ain't talking about Poland. Y'all know I live in Poland. I can get all my groceries for 2 weeks for $50. These kids today, nigga, they will eat any damn thing. You can't spend $50 on the bread aisle. Groceries high as hell. Don't you have no big ass car? And my George making voice. Truck. Fill that thing up. $3 million. Want to live somewhere nice? Don't you live in California? Don't you live in San Francisco? $3,000, 0 bed, 0 bath. Open the front door, you in the backyard. $3,000 a month. Don't you live in New York? See, the thing about it is the two-parent household, that woman got to be out there working, for the most part, helping that brother pay these damn bills. And that's what we don't want to talk about. You want the woman and this man to come together in Black America and raise these kids when they both at work 50, 60 hours a week. That man, he hate her. He cheating on her at work. She cheating on him at work. And they both barely making it in today's America. Especially if you living in the West Coast, New York, the northeastern parts of Massachusetts. Man, listen, today's Black America, it costs money. And then to raise kids, Lord have mercy. Don't let him go to private school. My nephew, I kid you not, my nephew is only 6 years old. My brother, if he watching this, he ain't gonna comment because he like to watch my videos, don't comment. His nephew, I'm in medical school, okay? My nephew is 6 years old. His tuition is higher than my medical school. I'm gonna say it again. I think I got two. One is 6, one is 8. His medical school is higher. His tuition at a private school is higher than my damn medical school that I'm paying right now. That's how high it is. My brother, he just bought a house not too far from the Los Angeles, where the LA Rams play out in Inglewood. Damn near $700,000 for a house. So what's the best two-parent households? I'm going to tell you. The ones that the black man is making a whole lot of money. That means if you really want to have a two-parent household, you really want to go, you better be making some good money. You better be making $100,000. Or you better be making $50,000 or $60,000 a year, and you living somewhere like in Ghana, or you living somewhere in Uganda, or you living in Poland. Yet now we talking about a two-parent household. You can live in Brazil like that, but you can't live in America like that. I'm just being real. You can't live in America like that. And we're talking about black men and black women coming together and raising children. But the other part is you need to have that community and that network to support. Where your businesses at? Where your businesses that employ people? Where your businesses that or schools that educate the kids for a cheaper price? You know, doing some things my brother Q Butter's doing. Where is your infrastructure that supports these people that can help them come up? You know, when young black couples come up together, is your family giving them $25,000 or $50,000 for them to start their life? We're not doing that type of stuff. Shit, most of us we coming from broke. We're trying to help our family. You know how it is. Come out of college, doing all. You're trying to basically survive. Got to pay your own college debts down. Now you're talking about marrying her. She got college debts. You got to work to pay that. She got to work to pay it off. How are you going to raise a family? You already $300,000 in debt. So these are the things. In other communities, a lot of times people, they help me help them come up. For example, my brother, who was living in Fresno at the time, he had a neighbor across the street. His family owned a multitude of trucks, right? And you know, Indians, they will live together until they want to get the house, want to get their own house. They family, when she got married to her husband, family came down with $100,000 down payment on the house. You can stay at patriarchy when you have $100,000 you can give and just put into something. Hell yeah. But in the black community, we got to build that money up to have it like that. You could talk about this and all of that, but most relationships end in divorce. And the reason why is really not because of cheating or because of infidelity. It's about money. And if you are a brother that want to be in a two-parent household, you need, in my opinion, to make a lot more than your wife, make your wife a life as easy as hell, and you better have some money coming in to pay for these kids, pay for these kids' school. If you want to really raise your kids the right way and you got to have the money because they got to keep coming. But most brothers ain't got it like that. Most sisters ain't got it like that. So if we're not talking about this economy and these high school prices and these higher wages, and you making some money to bring these black people together and build this financial support system to raise two-parent black families, stop talking to me about this. I don't want to hear nothing about no queens. I don't want to hear nothing about no kings. I don't want to hear nothing about any of that. What I want to hear about is, what are we doing to up that money up to help black people live better? So for those people who want to get into black family, what do we have to put this money back into the black community to help people do this kind of stuff if they want to do it? Some brothers ain't going to get married. I understand that. But we still need to be talking about this money. And we need to be helping our people, especially our brothers, get to the money. Because a lot of them do have a desire to do that. But we can't talk about rebuilding the black community if we ain't talking about where's the money. If we ain't talking about supporting each other. That two-parent household and the rising, escalating prices, you need to have skills in today's economy. You need to have job skills. You need to have certain skills that get you ahead, that get that money in that bank account. And that's what we're talking about. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate all of you being here. Really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you guys for coming. Subscribe, hit the bell on the channel. Shout out to the people on patreon.com/Negro Manosphere. Getting ready to post a new Curry Rapes video for you guys. I really thank you guys so much for all you brothers' support. And as you guys know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.